You were always meant for this. Recognize your power.
Dude, we gotta talk about this!
Yo, what's up, you guys? This one is going to be absolutely crazy. I could not hold it in any longer, so I simply had to do this video. It is finally time for Dragon Man 6 Clash of the Titans.
And this is the film where Dragon Man truly escalates. So, what happens in this story is, as we've heard in the previous film, both Mr. Fiction and the Shadow Lord escaped. And furthermore, something else from the past film. As we all well know, another variant of myself was in Dragon Man 5 Identity Breakout, and Mr. Fiction is inspired by this to, in this film, find alternate versions of himself. And there is an intense fight scene with variants of Mr. Fiction and the World Shakers. And the Gadget Man returns, and he's actually in Earth 616, and he is not alone. He brings along a whole bunch of other variants from multiple different universes. And boy, are they something. They are called the Titans. Now, the thing about the Titans, I ask where they all come from and who they are. The Gadget Man responds, they're all me. Thus include Master Ryan, who is a Jedi, a human who is made entirely out of electricity and energy called Turbo, and a cyborg with a lightning axe and a fire sword who goes by the name of Cybertron's Gabor, and he is the leader of the Titans. And this film is all about recognizing the power that you possess. And the Dragon Man is definitely going to need it, especially in one scene where Mr. Fiction transports him into this dark area. And all of a sudden, I find myself fighting another dragon, the Shadow Lord. But the thing is, it's not my Shadow Lord. He seemed a little more intense to fight, as if he knew me in a way that I could never even imagine. And then the reveal. He starts talking about he wouldn't be let out. I was keeping him from the real world. And that leaves me wondering, who exactly is this version of Shadow Lord? I ask what the heck he's talking about, and he says that I know him. And he finally reveals himself. He calls himself the Shadow Dragon. And he says to me, but you can call me Josiah Ryan. And yes, I was using this one scene from Into the Spider-Verse. But then I find out that this dragon that I am fighting is not a variant. Let me explain. So thank you, Best of the Scenes and more, for these video clips and images. But anyway, it's like that one scene in the Clone Wars when Yoda is fighting the darker version of himself. And that's what this scene symbolizes. Fighting the flesh. Fighting the dark side of yourself. And in the end, just like in the Yoda scene, the dark side is rejected and disperses into ashes. Instantaneously, when I saw that scene, I was like, oh my gosh, that is symbolic! the Shadow Dragon is defeated, and a little bit later, near the end, like before the final battle, the Titans take on Dragon Man as a new official member. And they pray to God that I recognize the power that he always meant for me to have. And I receive visions of just how strong my powers really are. And as I once again transform into the dragon, all along I have had this bright electronic blue lightning. Well, as I transform into the dragon, that lightning changes from blue to green. And now I have finally accomplished the most powerful form of the Dragon Man. So, this scene was absolutely amazing for me to do, just because of how much it resembles coming into your power. Basically, coming into your identity. I mean, that's just... So, that is the main point of the Clash of the Titans. But there's one more thing. I confront the original Shadow Lord, Cornelius Walker. And the origin is finally explored. I mean, in the first Dragon Man story, he was kidnapping new heroes and locking them away in a secret facility. Did anyone ask the question, why? Well, that is finally explored. He was kidnapping new heroes because he was afraid, what if they went bad? And it is explored that the character of Cornelius has a case of anxiety and was worrying about what if all of these new heroes, all of these new powerful people rising up, what if the Avengers went dark? And it is explored that he actually had a family, so he wasn't just afraid and trying to protect for himself, but for them as well. So he found a way to get himself super powers and become the Shadow Lord. And I actually start to feel sorry for the guy. And it's at that point when I tell him that he doesn't have to be afraid, that there's someone bigger out there that he can put his faith in and that he can trust for protection. And you guys can too. So, after that, the real thing that kicks in this scene is I transform into my human form and turn myself in. And at that moment, Cornelius realizes that he may have been doing things a little harshly and becomes a member of the World Shakers. After the Dragon Man and he fighting for 2 whole films, basically. Well, 2.5. Or maybe just 2. I don't know, I feel sorry for the guys, they're just 2. And Mr. Fiction is at last finally defeated, which it's actually explored through Cornelius that the helmet is actually controlling him and that he's not doing any of this by will. So, something pretty cool that happens is when Cornelius is seen with the World Shakers, he transforms into a dragon. But because his fear had finally let go, he becomes something more than the Shadow Lord. He pulsates with light, and he takes on the name of Energy Lord, and is basically a dragonized star. And so we have half of the heroes joining, or rather half of the villains joining the heroes. That's what I'm trying to say. Supercon, I have no idea where he is. But, anyway, the helmet of Mr. Fiction is finally taken off. And he wonders what the heck has happened. Because basically, he remembers nothing that had happened to him. And with that said and done, the Dragon Man comes into his fullness, and the multiverse is finally saved. For all the other Mr. Fictions are freed, and Johnny Finlock is once again restored to his full consciousness. But that's not the end of the Dragon Man saga. That's right, 2 more stories still remain, and the next one is, it's a little slightly humorous, which, all of these stories basically are, but you'll get what I mean from the title. Dragon Man, It's Christmas Time.
Yes, I have developed my own, well, I'm still kind of working on it, but I'm developing my own Christmas-themed project, so I had to have it. Make sure to like this video if you are a fan of all of these Dragon Man stories that I do and are ready to see the other 2. And make sure to share with your friends if you like. Share with your friends if you want to with all of these stories. I hope I, some way, shape, or form, spread out a bit of messages to you guys when it comes to believing in yourself, recognizing your power, understanding that some things may not be your fault, and really, I really hope that I helped you guys. So, also, make sure to subscribe to the Dragon Clan family to not miss out on my future videos and giveaways. And with that said and done, respect for all you guys out there. Peace out.